Hey guys, Neomis here now. I want to talk about the Bournemouth versus Arsenal game. FA Cup, fourth round, that's right. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 2. And what a game it was. And what a game it was really for two players in particular. Well, three. Let's say three players. Or three Arsenal players, to be more specific. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah. Three players that I talked about in my prediction, and I was graciously, whilst watching this match, outlined by one of my viewers that he even put money on this game, or at least on certain players to score goals, and he did well. See, like, my predictions in terms of who's going to play well, like, they're good. And again, it's another game where I've seen Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, and this strange bromance that I was talking about on Twitter during the game, that they have, like, they enjoy playing with one another. You could tell that. Like, it's no surprise that when these two play on the pitch, one of them either scores in a game and gets an assist for the other, and it's incredible. And the best part about it all is that they're both 18. These guys are babies. These guys were 16 years old 2 years ago, and they're here playing for the Arsenal 2 years later and performing absolutely brilliantly. I mean, so I took some notes during the game. Took some notes, and I just need to first of all say Bukayo Saka, absolutely phenomenal. So the first goal comes around with almost in a bit way of a possession football. So Pepe has the ball, he passes. Eddie Nketiah has the ball, passes it to Joe Willock, who cycles it, who drives forward, Joe, and he then drives forward, passes it to Martinelli. Martinelli decides to bring in Saka, who's coming up from the left back position. Saka just comes and absolutely thumps it into the top, the roof of the net. Like, absolutely no saving it. Like, no chance of saving this. And it was absolutely brilliant. Really, really, really good goal. And that's what you just want to see. Absolute clinicalness. So Martinelli gets the assist, Saka gets the goal. I need to, I mean, I know I'm going to do this at the end of the season, but I really need to look at the impact that both of them have been having on one another. I mean, Saka must have at least 5 assists so far this season towards Martinelli's goals, but both of them playing absolutely fantastically in this game. Also, one of the things besides that, before the second goal, we got some Shkodran Mustafi chants, and they weren't negative at all, like absolutely at all. I heard, "Oh, Shkodran Mustafi," and I was shocked. Like, Shkodran Mustafi, who unfortunately got injured later on in the game and had to be stretchered off, which is always a bad sign. I mean, he's probably going to be out for a couple months if that's the case. But David Luiz is back for the next game against Burnley, I believe on Sunday or in a couple of weeks. I need to check that out to be absolutely sure. But David Luiz will be back for that one. So it's a strange one. Real strange one. Also, Nketiah's goal. Perfect. Again, starts off with Nketiah having the ball, kicks out long. Nketiah then passes it to Willock, who's in central midfield. Willock passes it across to Bukayo Saka on the wing, who is just left completely open. And then Saka crosses in the ball. Again, brilliant crossing from Bukayo Saka. I mean, and he did this all game. Crosses the ball into the box, and that late run that Eddie Nketiah likes to make, and he's been doing it at Leeds in the first half of the season. The late run where he just comes in and scores a goal. Like Eddie Nketiah makes the goal look easier. Makes a goal look easy, but I'm sure the goal wasn't easy to score. I mean, just listening to the punditry after the game, Ferdinand said that he was creating space for himself for that goal, and the Bournemouth defenders probably could have done a better job to pick up Eddie Nketiah for that one. But Eddie Nketiah scoring a nice goal in the first half. And the first half, it was just all Arsenal, so comfortable. The Bournemouth players, I would say, were quite nervous, maybe even remotely a little scared, trying to kind of keep the scoreline down. But Arsenal had chances in that first half. Saka had a couple more where he crossed the ball in, and you would have thought that maybe just a little bit more power on the cross to be able to get it to a Martinelli or get it to an Eddie Nketiah. And this game could have turned into a 4-5-0 or 4-5-1 to Arsenal for the game. Matteo Guendouzi. We got to talk about Matteo. I mean, I've said it on this channel before, but Matteo Guendouzi literally should change his name to Matteo Voldemort Guendouzi, because Matteo is the master of the dark arts. Like, absolute master. Matteo was an absolute prick to those Bournemouth players all game. His ability to draw a foul, his ability to just be a nuisance. I mean, he was really, really good, Matteo. Like, what a player. I mean, and you could tell he's picking up some of the, I like to call a bit of bad habits from Granit Xhaka in terms of the way how Granit likes to play, because Granit has a bit of that in him. But again, Matteo is 20, 21, and is playing like this. I mean, absolutely brilliant, Matteo Guendouzi. One of the best players on the pitch today. Like, really, really is. Like, I just had to bring that up. His determination with the ball. I mean, he was nutmegging so many players. I mean, I saw Matteo hold the guy off, and then a second Bournemouth defender comes in the way. He nutmegs him, and unfortunately, he lost the ball. But Matteo is going to be a star. We're going to look back on these days and we're going to be like, you know what? We had some really good quality players. And I hope a lot of these players plan on staying for Arsenal for another 8 to 10 years. I don't expect all of these players to retire at Arsenal. Maybe some of the English ones, but with a lot of the foreign ones, not so much. But a brilliant, brilliant showing by Matteo Guendouzi in this game in the Cup. Then we had, obviously, the Mustafi injury. Holding comes on in place for him, which I thought he had an okay-ish game. Again, like I said in my last kind of review, he doesn't look like the same player that he was a year ago. Still probably isn't quite at 100%, and it probably explains why Mikel Arteta didn't start him ahead of Shkodran Mustafi. But now we're going to need him to get up to speed and be the player that we all believe that he can be, because we're a little bit light in defense and we're going to need him to get back up to scratch, which I know in time he will be able to do that, but there goes for kind of Rob Holding. Then later on, Ceballos comes on for Pepe. Overall in this game, Pepe was okay. I would give him 6 out of 10 for the game. This season, you guys, I'm not that much of a big Pepe fan. I want to see more. I need more. For me, I'm just like, how are a bunch of 18-year-olds outperforming you and doing like this much better? Like, it shouldn't be happening. But let's see what he could do. I mean, Pepe had a good, solid game. He had a few kind of half chances, crossed the ball really well, worked hard, but just largely ineffective compared to his counterparts on the left side of the Arsenal attack. And then Arsenal thinking that we're going to get a clean sheet away against Bournemouth. Yeah, it isn't in the Premier League, but it's a clean sheet nevertheless in the Cup. And, you know, we just capitulate slightly. But I don't want to blame too much of the blame on the Arsenal defenders. I do think in the second half that the Bournemouth players did put in a shift. Whatever Eddie Howe said at second half, at half time worked, and guys like Ryan Fraser really stepped up their game, and he was probably their best player, Ryan Fraser, in the first half. They brought on Callum Wilson later on in the second half, who for me I thought kind of made the difference, and you could see that he was the one helping them to do a little bit more and to give them something else, because to be honest, they had almost nothing in that first half. Solanke is an okay player, but for me, I feel like he is not ready for Premier League football. He needs to go to the Championship. And if Bournemouth do get relegated, perfect place for him. Perfect place for him. Let him go, develop there, find his scoring boots, and then see what happens. But nevertheless, the game ends 2-1 in favour of Arsenal. Overall, good solid game. I mean, Martinez was in goal. Hector Bellerin was at right back, played really well. Socrates, another good solid performance. Mustafi, even though I have come out and said, you know, I'm done with Mustafi, but again, he had a good solid performance. I can't put anything wrong. I think he had one kind of minor slip up. I think the part that led to the foul, that was the only thing when he was kind of running back to goal. That was the only thing I thought maybe he could have kind of dealt with that. But apart from that, good solid performance. Bukayo Saka, obviously brilliant. And then in midfield, Saka and Xhaka were almost swapping places at times. So it was an interesting one. And then in midfield, you had Willock, you had Guendouzi as well. Who else? And then in attack, obviously, you had Martinelli, obviously Nketiah. Martinelli, I mean, brilliant. Nketiah, brilliant. And Pepe, I thought, played an okay game as well. But overall, a good solid performance from the guys. Man of the match definitely goes to Bukayo Saka. Played really, really well, and BT Sport were right. And he definitely deserves the plaudits for that. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the game. Do you agree with me? Do you believe that Bukayo Saka deserved these plaudits? What did you think of the game? I'm happy. It's a good result. I hope you guys are happy with the result. Leave your comments below. Please continue to subscribe for my content. And yeah, I will see you all next time, which will most probably be tomorrow, since we are on the final days of the transfer series. So again, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.